We did it. We beat Oklahoma State. Brent Venables is now 1-1 against rivals in the Big 12 Conference. And we are going bowling. And it doesn't matter what happens next week in Lubbock against those tortilla-throwing, battery-throwing, media-hating Raiders. Because it's done, boys. We're going bowling. The only question now is where. And by the way, that could actually up our bowl chances if we win. But if we don't, we're still going bowling. And, well, it really all depended on what happened in the first quarter of this football game. Sooners jumped all around Oklahoma State in the first quarter. That's all it really took. Tell you what I mean. Next, Bowler Sooner 1982. Don't go away. Welcome back to the show, everybody. It's the bowl celebration. We're going bowling, baby, because of a 28-13 beating of Oklahoma State. And guys, yep, you guessed it. They jumped all around Oklahoma State, all in the first quarter, and they hold on till the end of the game. This is how things looked for the game for Oklahoma State. Spencer Sanders, their Sanders. He wears number 3, by the way, for Oklahoma State. He had 381 yards through the air, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, and a long pass of 55 yards. While Dylan Gabriel, oh boy, what a game he had, boys. He had 259 yards in the air. 2 touchdowns, he had 1 pick, and a long pass of 33 yards. Way to go, DG. Good ball game. Oklahoma State, well, they said that they wanted to let Spencer use his legs a little bit more because we've had trouble against running quarterbacks. And Spencer did use his legs quite a bit for Oklahoma State. In fact, Spencer Sanders led the team in carries, 17 tries, to go with 42 yards. Didn't score a touchdown, but had 16 on 1 play. The next leading rusher, Jaden Nixon. Nixon had 7 rushes to go for 37 yards, 0 tugboats, and a long run of 21 yards. The Sooners of Oklahoma, their running game was just daunting. In fact, Eric Gray had 20 attempts for 90 yards and a touchdown. His longest run, 35 yards. His counterpart on the ground, at least, Javonte Barnes. Barnes, 6 attempts for 59 yards, 0 touchdowns, and a long shot run, 22 yards. That's passing, rushing. Now let's look at receiving. Receivers Brendan Presley and Braden Johnson for Oklahoma State. Brendan Presley, 9 catches to go for $118 and 0 touchdowns. A long distance shot of 55 yards. While Braden Johnson had 7 catches for $109, 0 touchdowns, and a long distance reception, by the way, 47 yards. For the Sooners, 2 guys that are pretty good, Stoops and Mims. 12, Drake Stoops, his first final senior night in Norman, first final night in Norman as a senior. He can come back next year, by the way. So his first one, that's what I mean when I say that. 6 catches, 89 yards and a touchdown. Long distance reception, 33 yards. Mims, 17, Marvin Mims, 5 catches, 68 yards, 0 TDs, and a long distance reception of 22 yards. So that's the offense. Now let's talk defense. Defense for Oklahoma State, Jason Taylor and Mason Cobb led them in tackles. Jason Taylor II had 11 total tackles yesterday, forced 0 fumbles, but did have a fumble recovery and an interception from his safety position. Did Jason Taylor. Next one on the list for Oklahoma State defensively, Mason Cobb, 8 total tackles, 0 forced fumbles, 0 fumbles recovered, 0 picks for him. Defensively for Oklahoma, those much-hated linebackers played really well tonight. Specifically David Aboigu and Danny Stutzman. Aboigu, 10 total tackles last night. 0 forced fumbles, 0 fumbles recovered, 0 picks for David. Danny Stutzman, 9 total tackles for him, 0 forced fumbles, 0 fumbles recovered, 0 picks for him. The punting game on both sides was pretty good too, to be honest. Logan Ward and Michael Turk pretty much went head-to-head. Logan Ward had 9 punts to average 45.8 in average, 3 punts inside the 20-yard line, 0 touchbacks, and a long punt of 63 yards. Michael Turk, 37, Michael Turk for OU, 11 punts, 49.0 in average, 3 punts inside the 20, 1 touchback, and 67 was his longest punt. And the kicking game, finally the kicking game for Oklahoma State, 2 kicks, both good for Tanner Brown, number 49, Tanner Brown. 1 from 24 yards out, and a long-distance shot, 25 yards. Of course, 25 was the long shot. Oklahoma, Zach Schmidt. Well, the kicker Schmidt, he didn't have to get out there for field goals. 0 for 0, so NA on percentage attempts and long field goals. So that'll do it. Now, how are we going bowling with a 28-13 final, you may be wondering? Well, it started in the first quarter and it kind of ended there in the first quarter. In fact, in the first quarter, with 13:43 left, so just a minute and 20 seconds into the game, Dylan Gabriel takes it himself, punches it in for the touchdown. We got a 7-0 ball game in Norman. Dylan says, hey, I not only can run it in, guys, I can sling it too. Hits number 3, Jalil Farouk in the end zone to make it 14-0. 9:44 left in the first quarter. Then Eric Gray adds a little bit more insurance. With 7:57 left, Gray's in the end zone. 21-0. And then, with 1:09 left, Stoops. That's right. You can't have a touchdown reception without a Drake Stoops sighting. Well, Gabriel found him from 23 yards out to a pass to Drake Stoops. 28-0. A $1.09 left in the first quarter, and we had to the first intermission. Second half, just one score. Tanner Brown hits that 24-yard field goal, up and good. It is 28-3 with 4:05 left in the second half. Final score of the first half. Second half, 2 scores to talk about, both for Oklahoma State, by the way. Spencer Sanders, 3, Spencer Sanders finds Quentin Stewart from 2 yards out, 28-10. Oklahoma, though, still leads. This score happened with 1:03 left. And then with 12:37 left, Tanner Brown kicks the 25-yard field goal up and good. And that's your door slammer. That's all she wrote. Oklahoma would run out the clock after that. Wouldn't be that easy, though. The offensive play of the game, the right call of the game, plenty of these to talk about, specifically in the first quarter. But the one that I was really impressed with was the 33-yard touchdown pass to Drake Stoops. This one, by the way, took it all the way to the 2-yard line. This was not his scoring drive. This was Dylan's scoring drive as he took it himself into the end zone. Ted Roof and Brent Venables called a great ball game, guys. Get this. I think it was like 109 plays last night. 13 points. That's all they allowed. Really good, solid. Including 3 picks. One of them, by the way, is your defensive play of the game. Spencer Sanders is picked off by the defensive number 8, Jaiana Launu, the transfer from Hawaii. And he goes rumbling and stumbling for 26 yards to the Oklahoma State 4-yard line. And from there, Eric Gray would capitalize. All right, guys, that'll wrap this thing up and ship it off. We're going bowling, boys. That is some exciting news. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hey, hit the subscribe button if you're a fan of the show. If you're on the YouTube, that is. If you're on Facebook, that's okay. Just look for me, Harry James Taylor. It's not that hard. Or it's on Twitter. It's Hype Man Harry. All right, guys, thanks for watching. And Boomer Sooner, everybody. I'm out of here. Peace.